Hi, this is Kirk and Jed is here, and we're with the Forex Strategy Secrets. We're going to be talking about a trading course, and we call it the high probability trading. Now we're going to show you the simplest, the most straightforward trading system that we know of. Now it only takes about an hour and a half to go through the videos to see what the course is all about, and then you can get things set up. Now the course is designed to actually make money trading the Forex market. Now this statement is coming from some of the students that have actually told us this. We're going to give you suggestions as to which currency pairs you should trade. Now the reason we're suggesting about 8 different pairs, because they move the most. I was trading a pair one day and I made 8 pips on it. It's a good trade. I looked at the other pairs. The same exact time, if I'd traded one of those, I would have made between 16 and 20 pips. Same work. So that's why we're taking those that are move a little bit more. And so this is so you can maximize your profit while you're trading. Now we're going to give you some lot sizes to trade, and we're going to suggest a daily pip goals to shoot for. Now if you get much larger than this, that's great. And we're doing this so that you can double your trading account in 1 month if you follow these rules. Now don't expect to do this if you're not consistent. If you're making a -10, a +5, a +50, a -30, well, it's probably not going to work out that way. So we want to have you be consistent in a small number of pips each day. This can be done. You can double your trading account with the lot sizes we suggest in 20 pips a day. Now once your confidence and your skill level reach a competent level, then it's possible to really make money trading using this trading system. Here's an example. Here was a trade that was taken, and 16 pips. And here's another trade, it was 18 pips. Now, what if you'd taken those in the same day? You have made more than 20. What if you'd taken one day and one another day? Well, you're close to the 20. Here's a trade that was taken. I was entered into the first trade with an add-on. The green vertical lines are giving the signals where a scan went off. We have a scanner, and I'll share that with you a little bit later. And the scanner will bring trades to your attention. So the scan went off a little bit early, went off before right here, and then the person actually took the trade right there. 34 pips, 25 pips. This is on one trade, so there's well over your 30 pips. Well over your 20 pips per day. A couple of scans went off on here, and then that's where they were all closed. And we'll go through some closing signals for you also. Here's one trade. This is the euro yen. This really moved quickly. Where the person got in with this scan went off there, got in a little while later, boom, the trade just took off 40 pips. That same trader took this one about the same time. So I made 65 pips in like 8 or 10 minutes because the scanner brought these to his attention. Here's another trade, and I'll talk about this a little bit in more detail. This is about a good 10 pips, 10, 11 pips on these two trades. Now I'm going to show you what the chart setup looks like. And this is before we actually go to the actual live chart. We'll show you some things. But we're going to talk about some things that we do when we start the trading session. This is called a trend tracker. This is going to be part of your course material. You have to set this up, and it's just set up in your regular MetaTrader platform. I suggest you have 2 trading platforms, one with the trend tracker on it and the other one that you trade on. So for example, we're looking for a couple of things. You notice I've taken off some of the indicators if you've seen it, and in the next slide you'll see what all the indicators look like. But this bottom indicator, when it changes colors or crosses that 0 line, that says something to you. There's a moving average up here. So when this is a filter indicator, when it's on one side of the 0 line and on the right side of the moving average, then the market really can move, and you'll get some high probability trades. So I have this setting up all the time, and I have it all set on the 15 minute. Every 15 minutes, I see setups up here, and I can decide whether I want to look at a certain pair or not, something that's getting close to setting up. Now right here is an example, we'll see more of these, of how I have my trading platform set up. I have 2 charts. If your monitor's not big enough, you can just have one. but I have sometimes when I'm trading, if I only have one currency pair on, I'll have the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart so I can see the whole thing taking place. Off to the right, you see a little move over here. This was the 5 minute chart. You see a little move down, it rested a little down. Here's the 1 minute chart, down, rested, down. And so you can really time these entries by having the two charts up. Now there are some tools that help bring trades to your attention. So let's go look and see what the Norwood Strategy Scanner, that's what the tool is called. This is the box that you pop up to choose which scans you want to have on which currency pairs. You know I don't have it, you notice I don't have it at this time on all the currency pairs. I just have it on those that I want to look at during this trading session. I generally change this if I'm looking into the Asian session. You notice these brackets. There are 3 brackets. That's the same scan. It's just 3 different time frames. The largest time frame is 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour time frames. So you use the same scan. You don't have to learn as much as we were used to learning. And this other one with the stars by it is the 1 hour and a 4 hour. There's a third scan, but it's only based on the day, 4 hour, 1 hour, if you want to trade that time frame. In this example, I have 2 of them selected, and I have them attached to the pairs that have a check by them. Bring up the pop-up box. You can choose what pairs you want to be monitoring. There are other scans below that you can look at and choose specific trades also. Here's an example of when the scans go off. You can see there's a timestamp, and it gives the currency pair and the direction and all the scans that went off there. So those are things that you can have records of and see if you've missed something or was there a scan at that time. And some of them are happening in a lot at the same time, and so you have to decide which pairs you're ready to watch. Now we're going to the charts, and we're going to show you how this simple system works. Okay, these are my 2 charts that I have up on my trading platform, and I have the Euro CAD and the Pound Aussie as examples. Pound Aussie is the time that the trade actually took place. Let me show you how this works. Here's the 15 minute. Normally I'd be looking on the trend tracker to see this, but so I don't have to flip back and forth. I can have it bigger so you can see it. Notice it crossed the 0 line, and that's heads up to go for look for a trade. Now that's one of the first things that the scanner would look for, is that time frame. And it goes to the second time frame. If the 5 minute is on the same side of that 0 line, you'll get a scan right here. Now the 1 minute, you have to decide. It does not wait until the 1 minute set up. And the reason we did that is because sometimes by the time the 1 minute set up and you got there, it was already late. And so we found that in this case, see, we have to wait just a little bit. If we waited until it was really correct and went off, we would have been looking at about right over here. And so you came back on a little bit and went down 15, 16 pips. If you're watching, sometimes you can catch it right here. If you know what you're looking for, you could have caught that maybe 7 or 8 pips ahead. We'll look at a lot of different examples so you can see how it works. But that's what how that worked. We have the 15 minute giving a signal, the 5 minute has to confirm, then you go to the 1 minute and then wait till you see a 4 bar, and it's better if it's all on the same side of the 0 line and all these indicators. Right here, here's a trade setup that happened today. Right here, this is a counter trend trade setup. I'm not going to go to the details of what that is. That's in the course. Right there, below that line, that's the counter trend, and above is the trend. Could you start trading at the bottom and go up? Yes, you can. But maybe you didn't see this bottom part, and you could just start doing the top part once it crossed that moving average. So that's what the 15 looks like. Let's see what the 5 minute looked like. Was the 5 minute on the correct side of the 0 line? Yes, right here. And then right here, again, it changed colors when it went in the right direction. So there's an entry right in the bottom part, and then there's an entry at the top part. Or you could have ridden the whole thing all the way up. Now let's go to the 1 minute. That's where you'd have to make your decision. Right here. This vertical line is where the 15 and the 5 went off. But the 1 minute, it's best if you have it so that it's all three are on the same side and it's on the correct side of this moving average. So right there would be a heads up. You could have taken a trade there and it didn't really go back against you. And when it crosses this moving average right here, then it becomes a trend trade. So there's 14, 15 pips in there. Now, I'm going to put another vertical line across the zero line. All three on the correct side. It's on the correct side of that moving average. So there's a trade that could have been taken right here for a total of 30 pips. Or you could have taken a trade right here for a few pips and gotten out, got back in, and closed it all right in that area if everything's looking good. Now, I mentioned to you I'm going to show you some ways that you can manage this trade. When it's in a good solid trend like this top box for sure, you can go to the 5 minute and manage it on the 5 minute time frame. Now, so what I'm looking for here is a color going in the opposite direction. Right there's a possibility. I may have exited right there. I'm going to put another line there and go back and show you what it looks like on the 1 minute. See right here? That's where you may want to consider getting out. It went sideways. Or you could have stayed in, and then when it gave you another Mayo filter clear over here, here's the exit signal that I probably would have been getting out on, and that top part was like for 20 pips. So you can manage it on the 5 minute and or the 1 minute. Many times if it's a counter trend, this bottom part, I might manage that on the 1 minute. If it still has given me a lot of pips, I may go to the 5 minute and then manage it the rest of the way on the 5 minute. So that's how we can manage trades. Very straightforward. Exact exit and entry signals. There's one thing that I wanted to share with you. This pair moved right here. I'm going to slide this over so you can see more. Notice this one started and moved. That's about an hour that whole move took place. But then once it was over, it was really choppy. It was not really a good trend. There was a little bit right in here, but it's only 10 pips or so. But an hour and a half after this move started, when this move started over here, this one hadn't developed yet. Yes, there was a possibility right here it had a nice move also. But this one continued and had a nice move going the opposite direction for 40 pips. And then a little bit later, it had another move for about 30 pips. Do you get the concept that yes, it's possible to make 20 pips a day? This is just what happened today on two pairs. I'm going to scroll through a few more of these. I'm going to leave this one where it is because that's where we showed the example of going counter and trend. And I'm going to leave these lines here where this one had a counter. This was counter trend the whole time, and this was counter trend and then got in a trend. I'm just going to grab some. This is the pound Aussie, and you can see that it moved down a whole bunch. Euro New Zealand went up and down, the same as the other one. Pound New Zealand, once it started, had a nice move. Pound CAD. Now I'm going to go to the pound yen. The reason I'm showing this and going through it all is so that you can see that not everything sets up at the same time. So that's why the trend tracker helps, because when one is going out of compliance, another one may be coming in compliance. And notice how this one was really choppy. Sometimes the euro yen is like beautiful. It just is smooth and it's easy to trade. Today it was really a rough trade. Yes, there were some pips there, but it's been really rough. Look at the pound yen. It was a little smoother Once it got rolling, it was smoother and easy to trade. So out of the 8 pairs that I showed you, usually you can find 1, maybe 2 that move at any given time. Sometimes there's 5 of them that are moving all at the same time. Now, I want to show you a couple of other things. I'm going to go back to a 1-minute chart. See these moving averages? That setup is a big trend on a 1-minute chart. There's a trend for 40 pips. And I'm going to scroll through some of these, and you'll see that some of them may not be in trend. See, this one wasn't in trend very well. It's kind of choppy until over here, then it got into a nice trend. This is the one that we were just looking at. This is not in a trend. It's choppy. It's hard to trade right in there. So the patterns, we teach about the patterns. This was the nice trend right here, and it went out of compliance and came back in. When these moving averages are lined up properly, then you can tell that you're in a trend, and you just have to use the smaller time frames to enter. Now some people are going to say, well, I can't use the smaller time frames. That's okay. Let me show you what it looks like when we use the 4-hour. That changed colors from black to red. That's a signal. Heads up. You may want to consider going short. Then when for sure, when it crossed below that line, I'm going to put another line when it actually crossed below. See what that one crossed below. Now we're going to go look at these on the 1 hour. This is a scan on the larger time frames. You'll get scans. First of all, I'm going to do off to the right here. The 1 hour is below on both those areas. So that's where you could actually start looking for a trade. So from there down, there's 70 some odd pips. 50 pips on that first group. Now we're going to go to the 15-minute. Is on the 4-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute is your entry signal. Now the 15-minute has to be below. It's better if it's on all the same side on all of them. It went 8-9 pips. Came back a little bit, and not a lot of retracement. If you enter properly, when everything's on the correct side of the moving average, you'll have less drawdown. If it does go back against you, you may want to get out and then get back in when it goes back into compliance. So this one came in and it was choppy. And it hit once again right here and gave you 10 pips. Choppy. Eventually when it hit, the big one was right over here. That was 60 pips. And so you can trade the 4-hour and the 1 hour and wait till things set up properly. Let's go back and look at this. In the 4-hour, when it first crossed the zero line, it's on the correct side of its moving average. The 1 hour is on the correct side of its moving average, but see right there, it was not the right color. Right there's the first time it went the right color, and there was a couple in here. So I'm going to put one line on each of those. Then we go to the 15. So you would have received a scan on each of those areas, but they're like 2 hours apart. Now this is where you have to go look at the 15. It's really hard to see right in here, but it went across. You have to go to the 4-bar right there. It only went 5 or 6 pips. This one didn't go very far. That's okay. You can still take them or not. Then right over here is where it went to 70 pips over here. Another big move. You may not have caught this because it was probably a news move, unless you caught it right at the very 15 minutes prior to that news move going off. So that's how it works. I've labored this a little bit, but you get the point. You have to be the larger time frames or the smaller time frames. You pick the larger time frame, has to be on the correct side, correct color, correct side, correct color on the 5-minute, and the 1 minute has to be a 4-bar, all of them on the correct side. And what we want to share is what others are saying about the course. This is Rob says, these new scans are lining up very nice. I believe we are seeing a miracle happen before our eyes. Someone is actually increasing their Forex accounts. Don't take this wrong. I'm not bragging, but very pleased. Up 19% for the week, and I've missed some good opportunities. Ken D. John H. says, Kirk and Jet have nailed it with this new system. Al M., the greatest invention of mankind. This is an amazing trading system, Jeff A. So, how do you get this fantastic trading system? Let me show you. It's very simple. So you copy this link. Now, Jed's going to paste this where you can grab it and paste it and go in and order. There are different sections that you can order, and I'll get to those in just a moment. So when you paste that link, this is where it's going to take you. One of two things. You can click on sign up, or you can scroll down. Either way will take you to the bottom right here. These are the plans you can choose from. You can choose to buy the scanner and the course for $100 a month. When you stop paying, then you do not have the scanner anymore, and you won't have the filter, which is how the course is heavily designed around the filter. For $500, you can save $100. Get 6 months for $500. If you want to pay for the annual, the yearly, it's $900. You can save $300 if you pay for a year at a time. Or if you want lifetime access to everything, then it's $1,800. It's a one-time fee, and it's yours with no monthly subscriptions. Now you'll be able to see this when Jed goes to the link. So if anyone has any questions after the webinar is over, you can contact us through Jed at Forex Strategy Secrets. You can go to forexstrategysecrets.com, and the links will be there also. You can call, but I may not get back to you on the calling as quickly, because I'll have a lot of emails that I'm busy answering. Yes, the goal would be to capture 20 plus pips a day. If you can do that and use the right lot size. Now let me share with you a little bit about the lot size. You may want to start off with something that's comfortable. It's pretty aggressive lot size. That's why we say consistent. If you're not consistent, then it might blow your mind if you're trading at the larger lot size. Become consistent, then gradually move your lot size to the suggested amount as your confidence and consistency gets better. Aaron, most of the videos are designed around the 15.51, but you can take that same concept and use the 1 hour, 15, and 5 minute as your entry point, or the 4 hour, 1 hour for the larger time frames, and then enter of the 15. So the concept is exactly the same, the scans are exactly the same, you just need to use the time frame that feels more comfortable to you. Okay, the trading platform is the MetaTrader 4 platform. It's the most common platform in the trading currencies right now. Everything you've seen that I've shown you is in the course material. How to set up the trend tracker, the moving averages, charts that I showed you. This is a template, and so this just come when you sign up. That template just comes that way. Okay, what happens to the moving averages for the higher time frames? The moving average here, you can see what side of the line you're on there, really straightforward. And right here you can see which side line you're on of the 1 hour. And the 15 is a key ingredient in when you're using the smaller time frames. If you're on the correct side of that moving average, you're in a trend. So we haven't bothered to put all the different lines on the larger time frames. You just make sure that you're on the correct side of the moving average you see on the chart. If you are, you're in a trend. If you're not, you're in a counter trend. And if it's going back towards that line, either way, if it's going away from the line, you're in a trend. If it's going back towards the line, you're in a counter trend. So here was a nice counter trend, 65 pips. Could you have traded that? Yes. In the smaller time frames, you could have traded that. This is the trend tracker. All 8 of these charts. These are 8 pairs that I trade. They're all on the 15 minute. That one right there. So that you can see which side of the zero line this is going on. So right here, they went below the zero line. It was red. So that would suggest that you may want to look for trades in that direction. And like right here, at that point in time, look for trades in that direction. So it's telling you the momentum. All the indicators we use are momentum indicators. And when the momentum takes off in a direction, that just notifies you that that's a good chance that you're probably going to be able to find a decent trade in that direction. Just look here, for example. This one was going up and down. This one's going up and down, a little bit choppy. You see how this was a big move there, there. So there were four good pairs that were moving really nicely. Then they all started, well, this one is still moving a little bit. There's a 10-pip move right in there. You have to go to the smaller time frames and you can see them, but that's the trend tracker. It's just a setup. And notice I only have the filter indicator on the bottom. Notice at the bottom I have 3 indicators. Over here I have 1. That the filter is very important in when it crosses or changes colors. That's heads up. But you need to have these others for 4 bar. You want 4 indicators. Are they all on the correct side? On that 1 minute, it's very powerful. If they're all on the same side, you're going to get a higher probability trade. So the scanner form, you have to ask for it because I have to have your Skype address. And so you send an email to me and say my Skype address is, and then I'll send you a request. You accept me, and then we'll be hooked up, and then I can attach you to the scanner form. Now the scanner can go to your phone, and if you're trading a 4-hour, 1-hour time frame, many times you'll have a half an hour before the 15 minutes sets up. Occasionally it'll all set up all at the right time, all at the same time. And so if you have it go to your phone, you see that scan came in. By the time you get back to your computer, then you could just wait until the 15 lines up. And once it's ready, you can enter the trade and monitor it however you would like. I will not use as large a lot size when I'm trading the larger time frames because they can have bigger drawdowns. Like a 3-4 pip drawdown on a 1 minute time frame, it could be a 15-20 pip drawdown on a larger time frame and not even break stride. I mean, that's just the amount that it moves back and forth. And so I'm going to cut my lot sizes and use smaller lot sizes, but you'll be getting extra pips.